how do you build up a Twitter following? Do you just start tweeting out and then people kind of find you? And
Um,
why do I care about a lot of these people's like a lot of the people that I follow are like ex colleagues or other people, but
mhm.
all it seems is they either have really dumb opinions or they're tweeting out self promotion, and that's all they do. So my entire feed of the people it's just all self promotion. So it seems to me like, why do I want to just look through a feed that's all self promotion and dumb stuff where I feel
I
like if I
completely yeah.
scroll through it, I'm getting dumber? Why even be on that platform? So is there value to it somewhere of me building this? And I don't
There
actually, the flip side, let me go a step further. I don't want to do that. I don't want to just be like self promotion type thing as well, because I don't think I want to be a part of that and contribute to that. So if I did Twitter, what I would do is just all self promotion stuff and then maybe answer DMs. So, okay, explain.
Right. So Twitter is very much what you make of it. Twitter can just be a self-promotion wheel or just like an echo chamber where you just follow people with the same political beliefs as you and you just retweet each other constantly. If you're doing it for that, then I don't see the value in it. So I originally started using Twitter because I realized very early on with my content creation that I'm far more interested in expressing myself than making what's necessarily considered good content. So, for example, it's that whole thing of not just making build guides. I would rather make a stupid video like, is it raining outside? Or here's just me joking around with my cat. I used to watch a lot of WoW Crendor. Like, the idea of non-content is something that's very appealing to me. It's the whole reason why I went into Bakehouse originally. I have a degree in documentary filmmaking. I've sat in experimental filmmaking classes with my mother when I was like 12. Like I kind of grew up in that like stupid video installation art sphere. Um, Not stupid, but you know what I mean. So my whole thing was always more so it's more valuable to me to have a meaningful connection with my audience, make content that I genuinely like, and people be more invested in me per se than oh, he makes good build guides. And for that, Twitter is very good. So a lot of what I post on Twitter, I do tend to post quite a lot of political stuff on Twitter. I tend to post more of my own opinions and takes, stuff that necessarily wouldn't make good YouTube content or would make YouTube content which is so divisive that it would just like be very self-destructive. It's also very good for weaning out people of your audience. So, for example, when I was very vocal during the whole Black Lives Matter stuff that was going on, and whenever there is something that I care quite passionate about, I tend to be quite vocal about it. And it's whenever I would do it, I would notice I'd lose a couple of thousand subs here and there. Like as I said, my channel's kind of been at a very steady 40-ish thousand for a while. Um, and I really don't like the idea of there being people in my community who I would consider like pieces of shit. So if I can share some of what my quite reasonable beliefs in my opinion, and it's the kind of thing that would make someone not follow me anymore, in my mind, that's a good thing. So I think Twitter's quite good from that point of view. How I originally gotten into it, I volunteer at an animal shelter once a week. So I had lots and lots of pictures of cats and animal shelters, and I was like, I'm just gonna post a bunch of pictures of cats,
That's how
and
you got a
people liked
following,
that.
by posting pictures of cats. What are
Yeah, it
people's
was
obsession with cats? See, I hate
cats.
cats. I'm
Oh,
very allergic to cats, and that's why I hate them.
I mean that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But yeah, it's one of those things where I was just like, look, guys, if you follow me on Twitter, whenever I make like a video or do a stream, I'll tweet it out, so it's easy for you to stay on track with my content. You'll also get some nice pictures of cats, and you'll hear about my opinions and stuff. So, I do quite a lot of random tweets around game dev stuff. I'll do a lot of random tweets about just kind of whatever. Every now and again, I might put some political stuff up there. Um, and I think it's quite interesting from that point of view. The people I can tell you exactly how many I follow, but it's like 95% artists. So my Twitter feed are artists and game devs. So I follow 650 people. Very little of my feed is insert random Path of Exile streamer being like, oh, come follow my stream. I don't follow those people. I follow people who are posting cool stuff. So if I was to spend 30 minutes on Twitter, I will generally learn things because I'm following interesting indie devs, or I'll see a bunch of really cool art, which when I'm really into Dungeons and Dragons is like, oh, this is quite inspiring. So if you use it from that point of view, it's great. And then the other thing about it, and I joke about this, is why I always tell people to follow me on Twitter, is if you're then talking to like actual like normal people who exist in the world, and you're like, oh, I've got like 40,000 people on Twitch and I've got like 40,000 people on YouTube, they're kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard of YouTube, but they don't get it. But if you're like, oh, I've got 8,000 people on Twitter, like, oh, that's a lot of people, you know. So,
but I said 40,000 on the other one.
yeah, and they're like,
yeah, but 8,000 though.
Yeah,
that's a big number.
Yeah. So yeah, I quite like it from that point of view, and it's interesting to see kind of where people are at on that level.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a very good way of, if you do want to use it for networking, it is a good way of networking with other creators and stuff, because people tend to respond to Twitter DMs, I find. I very rarely DM people, so more so I receive DMs. But yeah. Follow me on Twitter, basically.
Yeah, follow him on Twitter, guys. Come on. What are you guys doing? Follow, go.
Unless you're a dickhead, in which case don't follow me on Twitter.
Well, follow him so he gets if you're a huge dick, follow him and then unfollow him so he feels bad about himself. I think that's
and make sure you tell me that I am.
Yeah. Before you unfollow, say I am unfollowing you. There you go. We need to know. We need to know when you're unfollowing. Okay, it's very important. What do you think of those people? I love it. I'm subscribing to your channel. Who asked, buddy? I don't care. You know what I mean?